Good evening, lunatics. Hope you're all doing well at Slowpoke Party! Dun, 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 dun. Slowpoke Party!
Let the pink party pokes bless this hunt.
Well, thank you so much for the 200 bit, well, basically 200 bits. Much appreciated. And I appreciate the good luck. Hope you're doing well, lunatics, on this fine Sunday evening. Welcome back to the Shiny Ditto Hunt! Well, not much to say about this, just heading back into it to hopefully find a Shiny Ditto sooner or later. I mean, ideally, I would like to be able to find it before the next major Pokemon games, but, you know, that's just the nature of RNG at the end of the day. You can't really predict whether or not you're going to get lucky or not. It would be nice if the game actually loaded me in. If there's one thing I'm looking forward to for the Switch 2, it's definitely getting a little bit more lucky with the load times, because at the moment, I don't know if the load time's going to help that much, but I hope it's going to help a little bit, at least like to make sure the game doesn't constantly crash or whatever. Spawns by pure force of will. I mean, it's entirely possible. Hey, Orion, hope you're doing well. All right. Before we get started, let's go make our sandwich here. Okay, so if I recall correctly, the combination that we're looking for is tomato, onion, some green pepper, and hamburger. Because we need this setup here, and then that's to make the guaranteed shiny sandwich. But if you want a guaranteed normal one, then you have to throw in 2 tofu into here. And after that, all we have to do is throw in any 2 Herba Mysticas. We'll throw in bitter and salty just so we use the most of what we have here. You're hungry? Well, it's a good thing I have this sandwich prepared for you then. Hope you look forward to it. We got some nice onion slices. Everyone appreciates a good onion. I personally like my onions caramelized, but you know how it be. You know, for the longest time, like, I didn't realize that caramelized caramel was actually, like, how do I put it? Burnt sugar is the best way to put it, because, like, I didn't realize that caramel was actually also a term for where you brown a onion by cooking it and stuff like that. I think you can also caramelize other stuff too, but like you never really think about it when you're cooking. So it's like I always thought like caramel was just like always like, you know, like cooked brown sugar and stuff like that. I don't want to risk it. Yeah, just put that bread there. Hopefully it doesn't fall over. We're good. That's a hey walking contradiction. Hope you're doing well. Heard you were making sandwiches. Figured just invite yourself. Yeah, hop on in. We're just currently hunting for our shiny Ditto here. Those tomatoes are huge compared to the green peppers. Yeah, go freaking figure on that one. Like, how are it? Actually, now that you point it out, I didn't even think about that, but you're entirely right. How the hell are these bell peppers so tiny? Maybe they're just out of season or something like that. Anyway, I will say this. Remember how last time when I was doing the shiny Ditto hunt, I got a massive headache because I didn't get a whole lot of sleep? I think I realized what I want to do for this time around. Like, one thing, I did not get a whole lot of sleep. I will freely admit that. But instead of like locking onto the Pokemon, I think I'm just gonna send out my Breloom, beat up every single Pokemon I can see, and I'm just not even going to focus on whether or not I get Ditto. If I beat up like a bunch of Tantamouses or Meowths, it doesn't really matter to me as long as we can get as long as we come across the shiny Ditto eventually. I think we should be fine here. Yeah, so we have Encounter Power Level 3 as well as Sparkling Power Level 3. And I have a shiny And I have a shiny charm, so quite literally, I have the highest percentage chance of finding a shiny Ditto here. Here, now you got some super charged tomatoes. Oh, you know, they're kind of like radioactive tomatoes that we found from Mr. Burns, where he just like was dumping all the nuclear waste into the water, and that created Blinky, the three-eyed fish. Except in this instance, it's he dumped it into like a plantation for tomatoes, and that mutated to tomatoes to be super gigantic. At least that's my new headcanon. Breaking news! Meowth population now in critical status. It's okay. It balances out because, like, you know, Ditto is the ultimate breeder, as we all know. By the way, happy Mother's Day, everyone. I mentioned that during the announcement, the Gone Live announcement, but hey, hope you all celebrate a good Mother's Day with your moms. And if you didn't, go treat your mom nice. I unfortunately didn't do a whole lot with my mom today. We mostly just talked, which is fine. Sometimes just like being around with your mom is just a nice thing to do sometimes. Anyway, since like we're just mostly just going to be walking around beating up a whole bunch of meows, anybody want to talk about some random garbage? I don't really have a, like, honestly, like, these streams are a super chill stream at the end of the day, because because we're mostly just, like, walking around, doing the same thing over and over again. And you know what? Okay, I will say this. I probably should go put on some music, so give me a quick sec. I'm gonna go grab some music for us to listen to. Hang on a second. I was supposed to do this sooner, but I forgot. I forgore. Okay, let's put that there. There we go. And let's start playing. Audio should be fairly low, but it should be loud enough for you guys to hear. Oh, you know what? I probably should also get up the audio source for that. Hang on a second. Where is it? Oh, do I not have this in this scene? Okay, hang on a second. Let me go grab that really quick. One moment. Let's see here. I should have... Hang on a second. Where is it? Oh, do I not have it set up? Oh, no. No, I do have it. Okay, thank God. I got really worried I didn't have it ready because I didn't, because, like, I haven't, like, actually used this outside of, like, I haven't really used this outside of, my podcasts, and I thought I lost it when I did my, when I deleted all my data by accident at one day, but I think we should be good here. Okay, let me just put this over here. Actually, no, I'll put this over here. Yeah, putting this over here probably would be the best idea. Okay, we'll put this... Yeah, we'll put this right here. And there we go. Now I actually have the music tied of the songs up on display now too, so that'll be good. Here we go. You want a random topic? Do a rank list of all 1,000 Pokemon. I can't exactly do that while I'm beating up a whole bunch of meows at the same time. You think I have all 1,000 Pokemon freaking memorized? Maybe back when I was in elementary school where I memorized all the 150 Pokemon. Like, I'll be real. I will say this. I've been watching a lot of people do like Sporkle video quizzes where they just make a list of all the Pokemon or all the Smash Bros fighters, or like basically list of characters and stuff like that, and then see if they can remember all of them. I think I actually did a test on whether or not I can remember all 150 Pokemon. There was always one Pokemon I forgot about. And it's just like, man, I cannot remember anything to save my life anymore. Please kill that, thank you. I don't know, for some reason, Breloom just does not want to lock on sometimes. Oh well, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. Hello. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that, Lindea. Thank you for watching 3 streams in a row. Always appreciate you guys being around for these streams of mine. But yeah, I'm just, but like, man, I just cannot remember every single Pokemon sometimes. You know what I generally do whenever I try to do those quizzes though? I generally try to go by route. So like, I would start off with like the Pokemon's, the Gen 1 starters. And then after that, I would like go through the routes of which Pokemon show up in each route because like, I played Pokemon Red and Blue so freaking often that I actually have like, I have it like basically memorized where, I basically have it memorized where every Pokemon shows up in every single route. And like, so I just like go through all the routes, and if I forget a Pokemon, I just rack my brain of like every single route again, trying to remember which Pokemon that I need to find for those lists. I actually do the exact same thing for remember the Pokemon types because like, you know how like in the first 2 generations of Pokemon, the Pokemon gyms are all divided by, obviously everyone knows like the gyms are divided by types, but did you know in the first 2 generations there is no overlap on types for the first 2 generations because for Gen 2 they want to go out of their way to avoid featuring gym leaders of the same type as the first generation, so that already covers the first 16 types of Pokemon. And then after that, the only thing you need to remember is like, oh, Dark type didn't get a gym leader until way after the fact. And then you just gotta remember Fairy, which is like introduced way later. So that's how I remember all 18 types of Pokemon, if I ever forget. So I just like go through the gym leaders of the first 2 generations, and I'm like, okay, so that's the first 16 types, and then I throw in Dark and Fairy. Done. Like I'm curious how many people are able to remember like the way they remember types like that, but that's just how I generally do it. If anybody were to ask me to list out the Pokemon types, I will say this though, if there were to be a if I were to like try to remember what Pokemon types are effective against each other, that is going to be a lot more difficult because like I always forget whether or not Fairy is super effective. Like, not super effective, but is resistant to fire or not. Because, like, I always keep on thinking there's some kind of fire interaction with Fairy types, but there actually isn't, if I recall correctly. But I keep on thinking there is, because I keep on thinking, like, oh, the first Fairy type I think of is, like, Flabébé. And Flabébé is, like, a Fairy type that hangs around grassy areas or flowers. And I'm like, oh, Flabébé is, like, a grass type. So therefore, and it's weak to fire, so therefore Fairy is weak to fire, right? You just get that weird, like, mnemonic system into your brain, and then, like, once you find out your mnemonic system is actually wrong, then you have to, then it takes forever actually getting your mnemonic system out of yourself. Fire is resistant Fairy. That's what it was, yeah. It's not that Fairy resists fire, yeah. I don't know why fire specifically resists Fairy, because, like, I always thought, like, from a mythological standpoint, fairies generally enjoyed fire, or at least would, like, cause fire, because, like, my first thought is, like, fairy fire. You guys are familiar with the concept of fairy fire, right? Anyway, but yeah, like, I just have a hard time remembering a lot of the type interactions. It doesn't help that they constantly change out how types interact with each other sometimes because of, like, say, how do I put it? Like, for example, like, I remember how steel types used to be able to resist dark types, but then they got rid of that resistance for dark types for steel types to make them more, to make them better. I'm trying to remember, like, I'm pretty sure there's, like... Oh, wait, is it dark types or am I thinking of something else? I remember there was one type that steel types used to be resistant to, but then they lost that resistance later on. Does anybody remember what I'm talking about? I legitimately don't remember anymore. My brain is all kerfluffled at the moment. Steel type lost its resistance to ghost and dark in Gen 6. Okay, so I was right about dark. I forgot about the ghost part. Remember at one point, ice was going to be strong against fairy? Oh my god! If ice was super effective against fairy, that would be such a huge buff to ice types. But at the same time, like, I think that just buffs ice type as an attacking move, not really as a Pokemon type. Because, like, you still want to, because, like, I feel like the biggest issue with ice type is, like, their awkward resistances, because, like, I think it's as, like, I think ice types are, like, the second most fragile type next to grass, because I think grass has the most weaknesses, if I recall correctly. Rare one, but yeah, it's just like, I feel like ice type is in a pretty decent spot right now, thanks to the changes that they made to the overall ice typing with hail. Well, not hail, like they changed tail into like is it snowstorm? I forgot what it's actually called now. I keep on forgetting. Depends on fairy. You always remember fire being resistant to fairy because fairy is the new natural protector's forest, whereas fires burn trees. I guess that kind of does. I guess it really does depend on the fairy. You're not wrong about that. I got really excited moment there when Breloom was not beating up these Meowths. You know, considering how we're beating up a bunch of cats, you'd think the internet would be a lot more upset about the fact that we're doing this. I guess it doesn't really matter when they're fictional cats. Please do not harm real-life animals, for the love of God. You know, I wonder if Meowth is still going to have a legacy to him thanks to the Pokemon anime, because like obviously Meowth is no longer a main character in the Pokemon anime anymore, but like, and now that they have a new main cast and stuff like that, I wonder if people are still going to care about Meowth in the future, or if people are going to be like, it's going to be like 20 years from now, and then we have a whole bunch of new kids growing up, and they're like, who cares about Meowth? Why does everyone like Meowth so much? And then all the old Pokemon folks are like, you dang youngins! You don't appreciate them Team Rocket folks that were able to have a talking Meowth with them. And then all the kids would be like, why was Meowth able to talk? And we're like, you don't understand how much hard work and determination of words that allowed the Meowth to be able to speak. He worked hard to achieve his goals. But yeah, it's just like, I do wonder like how many people are still going to like care about Meowth in the future due to that. Like, I feel like Galar was probably the last big hurrah for Meowth, since like Meowth basically got a Gigantamax form, even though Persian didn't. And then Meowth got a freaking Galarian form where he evolves into a Berserker, which is hilarious to me. Okay, we got 14 minutes left on this. So it's like, like, Meowth's got some really good treatment in Galar, but I feel like... Okay, I was about to say. But it feels like, now that Meowth is no longer a main character in anime, not many people are going to care about Meowth as much anymore, which, I don't know, kind of a bit of a shame as an old fogey like me who's oddly really sentimental and attaches themselves way too hard to, like, not to fictional beings. I don't know. It feels like sometimes I care too much about fiction when I should be caring more about more important things, I guess is the best way to put it. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like it's... I just worry... I guess I worry about, like, the small things that don't actually matter in the grand scheme of things at the end of the day. Smack all the Meowths. That being said, though, has there ever... I guess they did bring back Meowth for this generation, so I can't exactly say they didn't care about Meowth when they did this. Just because you care for small things doesn't mean you don't care about the big issues happening. No, I know that. I know. I just get worried sometimes. I get too caught up on the small stuff that I just, like, treat the small stuff as way bigger issues than they actually are. I will say this, though, man. I really hope we do find a Ditto sooner than later, because, like, I mostly am doing this because I want to make sure that I actually get a shiny Ditto, because, like, I don't know, it just feels right to have a shiny version of your favorite Pokemon, you know? Like, if it just, you know, a lot of people say that, oh, Limit, you're so lame. Your favorite Pokemon is a Ditto. Like, of course you like the Pokemon that transforms to everything. And I'm like, yeah, because it's so cool. I love the fact that it's such a simple Pokemon. Sometimes simplicity is where it's at, you know? Like that, like, you don't have to think about wild, crazy concepts. You don't have to worry about the IVs on Ditto. All you have to do is just have Ditto transform, and then its IVs are copied over to the Pokemon it transfers into. Who needs to worry about IVs for it? Like, literally, I'll be real. One of the best things about Ditto is the fact... Hang on. Like, one of the best things about Ditto is the fact that you don't have to worry about IVs for the thing. So if I find a shiny Ditto, it's just as good as any other Ditto, competitively speaking. We need a shiny literal gender fluid. I mean, to be fair, like, Ditto can, like, sex up basically any Pokemon. Don't you only need to worry about HP? That is true. I always forget it. Yeah, that is true, but at the very least, you can just bottle cap the HP. Because, like, thanks to modern Pokemon games, hello. Thanks to modern Pokemon games, they made it super easy to be able to adjust your IVs to be maxed out. Honestly, the only real issue with IVs, I would say, is, like, breeding Pokemon with 0 IVs. That's only the real issue when it comes to competitive Pokemon, I would find. But aside from that, though, like, I feel like it's ridiculously easy to make whatever Pokemon you need for any situation. Yo, Kite, how's it going? Hope you're well. Any fun plans? Going to see the new Final Destination on Friday? Hope you have fun. Nothing particular for me at the moment. Tomorrow night is the start of the MCU for the superhero marathon, so we're watching Iron Man tomorrow night in the Discord server, if anybody's looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to it because it's been a while since I watched Iron Man. I think your kangaroo mushroom's getting tired of killing all these lucky cats. You know, if they're supposed to be lucky, then why isn't one of them shiny? I swear, any day now, I would love a shiny. Your friend theorized a rusted bottle cap item that could be used to set an IV to 0. See, if they added that, competitive Pokemon is practically solved at that point. You don't need to worry about breeding anymore. If you worry about egg moves, you have the Mirror Herb. Like, straight up, if they gave us that, we don't need to worry about breeding anymore. The only thing you need to do for breeding, shiny Pokemon. Literally, like, at that point, shiny, like, breeding doesn't have any purpose for competitive Pokemon outside of just, like, making a shiny Pokemon. You make a shiny Pokemon through breeding, and then you just, like, deck out its IVs and EVs with items, and then you're set for life. If you're worried about movesets, Mirror Herb. TMs. And I wonder, I will say this, I do wonder if the reason they haven't given us an item that gives us 0 IVs is because they don't want to, make breeding outmoded outside of shiny hunting. But at the same time, I feel like shiny hunting has become so popular in the Pokemon community that, like, even if they were to get rid of, like, the whole IV breeding aspect, like, breeding still would be ridiculously popular for those who are trying to breed some shiny Pokemon. So, like, I don't really see a whole big issue about giving us an item that reduces IVs down to 0. And I can only really think of, like, there's only really, like, 3 there's only, like, 3, stats that you wouldn't want to reduce with IVs, that being attack, special attack, and speed. I don't remember the exact reason why you want 0 special attack, but I think there was a reason for it. I don't quite remember why. I think it was based off of a move or something like that, that your opponent can use, like, the special attack stat against you or something like that. I think that was what it was anyway. They're not lucky, they bring luck. That is true. And these lucky cats are not bringing me any good luck right now. Maybe it's because I'm killing them that I'm losing out all on the good luck here. But yeah, like, I'll say this, like, if they do actually decide to bite the bullet and give us, like, 0 IVs, that would be, I feel like a lot more people would play competitive Pokemon because it'd be so easy to do, and people wouldn't have to, like, just, like, resort to like the Showdown simulator from Smogon. Because, like, while I'll freely admit that, like, Showdown is, like, very easy because all you have to do is just plug in numbers and go in, at the very least, like, I feel like Showdown is super boring visually speaking, which is why I think the whole Champions, like, game that they're creating, that's a mobile game, as well as, like, a Switch game, is going to be able to, like, hopefully make Pokemon battles a lot more visually interesting for people. And because of that, don't get me wrong, I don't want Smogon to go away. Not Smogon, I don't want Pokemon Showdown to go away because I really like Showdown, like, giving you an opportunity to test out your Pokemon before you decide to build out your Pokemon. But, like, generally, I want to see the future of competitive Pokemon be played out in, like, Pokemon Champions because, like, I like Showdown for, like, having fun mock battles with each other. But, like, I will say that the visual design of Showdown just leaves a lot to be desired, is the best way to put it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Scarlet and Violet looks great or anything like that, but if Pokemon Champions actually is a proper HD Pokemon game that runs at 60 FPS, and when I say Pokemon game, I mean a battle simulator Pokemon game, I feel like Pokemon Champions would actually be able to really sell itself to a lot of people with its visuals. Also, hey Kojin, how's it going, buddy? Don't mind me, I'm just beating up a bunch of cats. You should be happy about that. Because, like, cats are like the arch nemesis of birds, you know, your family. See, I am, like, ruining the whole ecological system so that birds can become the dominant species of the world by killing all of these cats. And I don't know if how birds feel about rats, but I've also been killing all the mouseholds too, so you're welcome. Sometimes your friends like to love the random battle on Showdown. No, that's perfectly fine, I get that. I'm just saying, like, I want, like, if we're going to have, like, proper, like, displays for Pokemon battles, though, I hope it's, like, Pokemon Champions. I really want that to actually take off if it's actually a proper battle simulator. At the very least, cats can heck off. So are you telling me that you are Team Tweety Bird? You never felt bad for Sylvester with the amount of pain and suffering he went through just because he wanted a good meal? Rats on their underhand tend to get eaten by birds. Oh, so fair. Liv is trying to make the world of a tofu boyfriend. I mean, you're not wrong. Can someone bless me with some good luck right about now? Because I'll be real, I don't want too many streams of just hunting for a shiny Ditto. Like, I like the podcast streams, be able to just, like, chat up random topics with you guys, but otherwise, I just want to be able to, like, go and do some other stuff on the... Mother frickin' stepped out too far outside and then causes all the Pokemon despawn. I hope none of those were actually shiny either. That would have been really annoying if that actually happened. Just gotta remember not to step too far off the cliff. Fun fact, your older niece started reading that game and she doesn't get why he kept giggling whenever she brings it up. I mean, to be fair, her tofu boyfriend honestly has legitimately good writing to it. It's surprisingly serious for a game all about, well, birds. I really hope I didn't despawn a shiny Ditto when I accidentally walked too far off the cliff there. That actually would legitimately be omega annoying. The fact that it's well written doesn't make it any less funnier to you. No, I get that. Like, I don't know, it's just like, it's just one of those things where it's like, you kind of don't really, you always like, a lot of people look at it like, at face value of like, oh, it's a bird dating sim game. That's silly. And then you find out more about it, it's like, oh. Went back to replay Metroid Fusion. Nice. How do you like it? That's actually one of the few 2D Metroids I haven't played yet. I played NES. I haven't played Metroid 2, but I played the 3DS remake of Metroid 2. I did beat that. I played Super Metroid. Never actually... You know what's funny? I never actually beat Super Metroid. Mother trucker. Well, unfortunately, my sandwich ran out. And then you get to find around, you're like, what the frick? Why does this have so much depth? Mm-hmm. Something about the control scheme didn't vibe with you? I think for me, it's just like a lot of... I felt like Samus felt really clunky in that game. I don't know, just like she felt really stiff for me, even though I know a lot of people know how to make her look super smooth whenever they play her in speedruns and stuff. Okay, why is this taking forever to load now? Hang on, let me make sure. Autosave. Oh, we gotta turn off autosave. If we have autosave on, that's actually going to be really annoying whenever we have to set up a new picnic. But yeah, I really like playing 2D Metroid. It probably is my favorite of the it probably is like my preferred general style for Metroid compared to Prime. I know a lot of people like Prime, but it's just not for me, I guess. I don't know, like I enjoy playing Prime on stream. I'll probably play Prime again on stream as well, but I don't know. And I probably will actually play Prime 4. Do I want to play Prime 4 on stream? I don't know. Would anybody want to watch me play through Prime 4 on stream? That's the real question, I guess. I like Prime 1 just fine. It's just like I never played Prime 2 and 3, so I don't know if it's okay to play Prime 4 without anything else. Do not fall down. Please do not fall down. Please do not fall down. Please do not fall down. Like in games that with a run that you have it on Y, but that's also the button you like for shooting games too. See, I don't mind it because like Samus doesn't need a run button. Because she's always going at full speeds all the time unless you're using like the speed booster. I would watch it, but given how inconsistent everything in your life is, I can't say you'll be there. What are we talking about right now? I've lost track of the conversation. Oh, Metroid Prime 4? Yeah, I get that. I was more so talking about like whether or not it'd be I was more so if it's like worth like doing Metroid Prime 4 considering, well, not worth, but more so like would people rather I go through Metroid Prime 2 and 3 first, since so I can, I wouldn't say additional context, but like at least give me like more comparison points between the games. You tend to avoid streams with new games unless you've gotten it yourself. Yeah, I'll be real. I've actually been trying my best to avoid like playing new games lately, mostly because of that exact fact. I usually like try to give people time to like complete new games first before I actually get around to doing them. But at the same time, it kind of sucks too, because it's like, it's so easy for people to just be like, oh, hey, it's that game that no one cares about anymore. You should have done it when it was new. And then I'm like, well, I guess I'm damned if I do or damned if I don't. You would not believe the amount of times I have to worry about spoilers and then like find out, oh, I don't care about this anymore. It's kind of like the whole Angelica Pickles situation in Rugrats, where it's like Stu's like making chocolate pudding at 4 a.m. in the morning because he's lost control of his life. And then he brings the chocolate pudding over to Angelica. And then she's like, oh, don't worry, Uncle Stu, I'm not hungry anymore. That's just the life of a streamer, unfortunately. Like, you try your best to, like, be entertaining the best you can for everyone. It's like, oh, sorry, we're not interested in your streams anymore. Bye. And I'm like, well, that's a big sad for me. It's also hard to stand out when everyone's playing the new game too. That too. But generally, I try to like help myself stand out by being like, you know, the way I am. Being able to showcase my different characters, give my my input as someone who's done a lot of research into ludonarrative storytelling. That being said, though, I don't think I've actually... I'll be real, I don't think I did a very good job of talking about ludonarrative storytelling whenever I do game playthroughs, because more often than not, I'm just like taking in the game's atmosphere and story for myself so I can enjoy myself at the same time, because like, at the end of the day, like, streams are me just like being able to enjoy games for you guys, for your guys' entertainment. And whether or not you guys want to like throw money at me for me having fun with games, that's another story. I was about to say, are you not going to beat up that Meowth? But yeah, I don't know. I just generally try my best to be as entertaining as I can and hope you guys enjoy yourselves enough to be like, oh wow, Limit's cool. Let me throw some money at them because I want them to be happy. Or at least support them or whatever. I don't know. That's like ultimately one of those weird things where as a streamer, it's so like... It's one of those things, like, you don't want to be like, oh, hey, why doesn't anybody throw money at me? Rather than, like, you know, hey, hope you guys like the stream. If you want to support me, you know, subs and bits and stuff. But, like, that's why people are always trying to, like, find sponsorships and stuff like that. Which is why, you know what's weird? There are so many people I know who keep on complaining about, like content creators who get sponsorships, and I'm like, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to just like not make money from streaming, or do you want them to just like be your entertainment monkeys, I guess? I don't know. It's just like one of those things where like I'm baffled why people get upset from people taking sponsorships, because I feel like when you take a sponsorship, at least then you're not just like asking people to like throw money at you for no reason, you know? I feel like most people have gone over the whole like displeasure of people doing sponsorships just because of how prevalent they are, and it's just become like a fact of like content creator life that people just stop complaining about it, which is kind of nice, I guess. Pa-pa-pa-da.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message. I'm actually a deep-voiced woman. Now, back to our show.
This stream is sponsored by Prade, Shadow Lizards, the #1 giant boss toy that is sure to claw its way into your gaming heart.
Thank you for 37 bits announcements, Wolf. Always appreciate you, buddy. But yeah, it's just like, I will say this. I personally have not done any sponsorships, not for a lack of trying, but it's like, it's more about the fact that I want to make sure if I were to do a sponsorship, it would be something that I personally care about. Maybe that's a little too much integrity for being a content creator, because I'll be real, sometimes it feels like you gotta throw your integrity into the trash if you want to actually make money from sponsorships. So you gotta like promote sponsorships of games that you don't really care about, or products you don't really care about. I don't know, like, it just feels like sometimes, like, I am too picky with trying to find a good sponsorship. But, like, then again, I don't really exactly have people reaching out to me for sponsorships or anything like that. I mostly, how do I put it? I mostly have, why is that Meowth running? Why are you running? I mostly was browsing like Stream Elements for their sponsorships, but I also found out that Stream Elements have been really garbage with like their sponsorships lately as well. So like, now I don't really have a very good means of being able to find sponsorships, because I was actually really tempted in finding a Zenless Zone Zero sponsorship because...
Too late for apologies!
Yo, Liminality! Thank you so much for your raid. Really do appreciate it. How y'all doing? Can we get a shout out for Liminality? Hello everyone from the raid. The name's No Limit. I'm a variety streamer that plays through games that they never played through before. That being said, though, currently hunting for a... I was about to say, that better not be a shiny. I'm currently hunting for a shiny Ditto, but this is my second stream doing this, and I have not found one yet. 0.2 wipe pipe. But I need some context for that one. But hey, thank y'all for being here. I'll probably give you guys a proper greeting, though. Good evening and welcome. I'm No Limit, and I'll be streaming for you today. What can I get for you? A drink? Some emotes? Or a little memes? 3, 2, 1, fire! Limit, 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 go, go! Love it, limit, or a little memes. Oh my god, are you freaking serious? Did the freaking cover of Burning Desires actually come on immediately after I did a freaking raid countermeasure? Unfreaking real. Was doing Savage Prog. We got the boss down to 0.2 HP before they did their hard enrage. Oh no. I hope you didn't like get wiped or anything like that. That being said though, Liminality, if you gotta take care of any post-stream stuff like get food or water, or if you need to get rest or anything like that, do what you gotta do. Thank you again for the raid. But yeah, like I said, we're mostly just hunting for a shiny Ditto right now. I currently have a shiny sandwich that gives me level 3 sparkling power and level 3 encounter power for normal types. So ideally a shiny Ditto should pop up eventually, right? But yeah, we've just been talking about some random topics. I was kind of talking about the content creator life and how hard it is to actually make money, wherein like a lot of people like have to take on sponsorships in order to actually be able to make their job profitable. Hard Enrage was end of fight. He basically jumps on the wrestling ring ropes and then elbow drops the arena to kill us all. Oh, so it's like a suicide attack. Okay. I think people just misplace the issues. They much rather blame the streamer / YouTuber rather than the fact that corporation trying to fill out our lives with ads of their products. Yeah, like, I'll be real. It's just like one of those things where it's like you can't really, there's not much you can really do about it unless like people actually want to like support you financially by like, you know, dropping subs or stuff like that. So it's like, or like watching more video content, because like a lot of people point out like if you want like a lot of people kind of expect like a lot of entertainment just be free nowadays, which is perfectly fine. I get it. Like I never lock my streams behind like subscribers, for example, which is totally an option, by the way, which I find really freaking weird. Like, I don't think I know a single streamer who locks their streams behind subscriptions. That seems wild to me, because I feel like that alienates so many new viewers. Because it's like, how are you supposed to grow yourself as a streamer if you're going if all new viewers who come to your streams just see, oh, in order to watch your stream you have to subscribe? I feel like that's asking way too much out of people. I don't know. It just like, but it's just like one of those things where it's like, hello? I got so excited for a moment there when Berlium did not want to attack that Meowth. It's like how YouTube lets you make videos members only. I mean, to be fair, they have stuff like that for like Patreon and stuff like that, where they put some exclusive Patreon videos on their page. I don't think that's too terrible. Yo, Caitlin, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Don't mind me, just hunting for dittos. I've seen things of subscribers only can talk for this, but other sub-only streams are done in a way to entice them to subscribe. No, exactly. Like, I'll be real, I'm still not a fan of those streams where they're like, oh, hey, in order to talk in a stream, you have to be a subscriber. Like, I get it for, like, big streams like GDQ, where it's like, oh, man, you don't want, like, people saying bad things in, like, a charity stream. That one makes sense to me. I just don't understand, like, when it's, like, a normal stream, like, you can't have, like, you only have subscribers only who talk. I don't know. I guess it makes more sense than, like, locking away video content. I don't know. I just feel like it kind of alienates a few viewers because, okay, let me ask this, chat. If I were to lock my chat to, like, subscribers only, would that entice you to subscribe? Or would you just be like, well, I don't care about this stream, I'm gonna move on, bye. But yeah, I hope you're speedrunning, I hope you have fun with speedrunning, Caitlin. It mostly lurks so it doesn't affect you, I guess. Probably just lurk like you do a lot of times in streams. Alienate your subs who can't afford 1 month due to life stuff at that point. There's that too, yeah. Unless for reason subs only, like you're playing a high spoiler game and you don't want people being jerks. That I can also understand too, yeah. Although I will say this sometimes, like, sorry for focusing on streamer stuff so much. Like, I'm sure a lot of people don't really give a crap about any of this. They just want me to, like, talk about silly nonsense and stuff like that. But I am legitimately curious because because I do wonder about this a lot as, like, you know, content creation is my job at the end of the day. I wonder, like, what exactly motivates you guys to want to, like, sub or give subs to people or drop bits or whatever? Because, like, I don't know, it's just, like, it's one of those things where it's, like, I see people, like, happily throw subs at people who don't really talk about anything and just, like, randomly have this, like, and they're like, oh, hey, thanks, bye. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. But it's just, like, I'm just, like, wondering, like, is it just, like, a personality thing or is it, like, some other stuff that I'm just not aware of? Or, like, I know, like, sometimes people don't sub because they are financially unable to. That's perfectly fine. I totally get that. I just wonder sometimes if there's, like, some more, like, reason behind, like, whether or not people want to subscribe to people or not. Or, like, drop bits and all that good stuff, you know? But there's also a Discord server that you're in who is preaching about negativity coming from Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. I'm sorry to hear that. Kindness, sometimes I admit done because helping people else helps me feel better about yourself type thing. That's honestly really cool. Like, I totally understand that because I've done that a lot of times too, where, like, I just subscribe to people because I want to see them happy. Like, I know a lot of, like, streamers that I follow that are, like, really cool, and I'm like, oh man, you seem awesome, let me throw some money at you, and I'm like, oh, and then they usually are so appreciative, and that makes me happy because they're happy, you know? You mainly use your Amazon Prime subscription and friends when they stream? Nah, that makes sense. I mean, that's basically free. I usually use my Amazon Prime on Liam6. Shouts to Liam6 if you guys haven't followed him, by the way. He's a Twitch partner that I know. He's really cool. Does a lot of game shows, does a lot of OOT randomizer, Ocarina of Time randomizers, races, which is cool. So may not be around often for a few days. Your internet keeps dropping like every 10 minutes, comes back with a minute or two, but it's just often enough to be annoying. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Nameless.
Thank you!
Speaking of which, though, yo, Wolf, thank you so much for your gifts up to Nameless. Nameless, please enjoy the emotes whenever you can, bud. But yeah, you take care, Nameless. Don't worry about it. Like, hopefully your internet settles down soon. Have you contacted your internet provider about that yet? It sounds like you might be having like outage issues like in your area, or maybe it's like old modem stuff that you need to get fixed up or whatever. There's also that. Try power cycling your router. I will say this, I recently got upgrade to my internet recently because like my internet service provider, when we were trying to remove our TV services because we realized we don't really watch a whole lot of TV anymore, we just use the internet and stuff like that. They were like, oh hey, do you want to upgrade your internet to have like higher bit rate and gigabytes? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I got really scared because, like, I realized when I agreed to do it, I was like, huh, I never actually double-checked whether or not they actually have better service plans, like, during this, because, like, it's entirely possible, like, oh, hey, you have higher, you have more, you have, like, higher speeds and stuff like that, but you get more outages. And, like, I tried to ask them about that. It's like, oh, no, you don't have to worry about that. Of course, we're going to promise you that it's going to be like, it's going to be okay. And I was like, yeah, of course you're going to tell me it's okay because you don't want to scare me away from the deal. But that being said, though, my internet service provider has sent over a technician to install my new router and stuff in order to facilitate my higher gigabyte internet. And when he was finished, he was like, okay, I'll set up here, but call me back in an hour if you lose internet. I was like, why? He said, oh yeah, like, for some reason, after an hour, sometimes like your hardware fails to actually run internet, and then I have to come back and fix it up. And I'm like, okay. But thankfully, I didn't actually have to call back that guy because my internet never really dropped. It dropped for like 1 minute one time, but that was like, it was just like 1 minute, who cares? Otherwise, I've been having consistent internet, so thankfully I haven't run into issues with that. But yeah, Nameless, consider power cycling your router. Unplug it for like 10 minutes and then plug it back in. That might be able to resolve your issue. But when running troubleshooting claims your Ethernet goes bad, the cable is only like a year old. Yeah, like try power cycling it. Like, honestly, sometimes people forget that the easiest issue is turning things off and on again. Hello, IT. Have you tried turning it off and on again? I'll be real. Like, the amount of people who don't bother doing that kind of surprise me. Because it's like, you would not believe how often, like, just doing that actually fixes things. Sadly for me, I found out my computer issues wasn't an on and off problem. My computer issues was a freaking CPU issue. So that was an annoying thing I had to deal with for a while. You know, I'm pretty sure we fought over like 600 Ditto at this point. You gave it like 30 seconds, you'll try 10 minutes soon. I mean, 10 minutes is like generally the optimal way of doing it, but 30 seconds isn't the worst thing in the world either. It's good to be able to just like make sure the thing is fully powered down when you actually do cycle it. Excuse me, my nose is starting to get a little runny. 1 second. Allergies being dumb. Being a stretch, thanks for a reminder, Wolf. Oh, well, empty cup is empty. Hang on, let me go get my bot to refill it. Bot-chan, where you at? There you are, girl. Thank you. Thanks for a reminder, Wolf. Much appreciated, buddy. Bright Loom, I know you love me, but we do not need to do a fusion dance together. You know, for a while I was kind of worried that Bright Loom might not be the best Pokemon to be sending out to try to capture a shiny Ditto, because I thought, oh man, what if it like instantly transforms? I won't be able to put it to sleep anymore using Spore. And then I remembered that we're hunting for a wild Ditto. It will not have Limber on it. Not Limber. It will not have Imposter on it. If it had Imposter, wait. No way. Chat. Chat. I got so excited for a moment there. And I'm so angry. I'm so mad! Brilloom, why did you not want to attack the Ditto? I swear, I do not understand my Brilloom sometimes. Sometimes he's like, oh man, gotta kill all the Pokemon. And then sometimes it's like, no, I just wanted 5 out standing next to you, Master Lena. And I'm like, yeah, thanks, appreciate your company. It's the tree's fault? Someone give me a cut HM. Anyway, what was I saying earlier? Man, I've completely lost track of the conversation. It stays up for like 10 minutes, goes down for like 3. I feel like you should really contact your internet service provider if the power cycling didn't work. Although I am racking my brain right now to see if there's any other, like, solutions I can offer for you. Gonna try that in a bit. If not, I'll call tomorrow. It may literally just be a bad internet Ethernet cable. It's also entirely possible that your service provider is having, like, some outages in your area for a while. You don't want to touch yourself out worry screwing up any further? Have you tried unplugging your Ethernet cable, like power cycling that instead? Like basically unplug your power Ethernet cable, let that sit for like about a minute, and then replug the Ethernet cables. And when I mean like the Ethernet cable, I mean both ends of the Ethernet. Yeah, just try the cable. And make sure, like, it's properly plugged in, basically. Breloom, get over here! Is he afraid of the cliff or something? Yeah, it doesn't hurt to reseat the cable on both ends, basically. Currently, just have a game to distract you from the outages? I hear you. I hope, like I said, hope, like, it helps out. And there goes my... Well, there goes my sandwich. You know, I'm starting to wonder if I should just set up a prediction system to see if anybody can predict when we're going to find the shiny Ditto. I guess we could make a prediction on whether or not we're going to find a Ditto this stream or not. I'll set one up in a moment. You know what? I'll make it even more vague. Will we find a shiny period this stream? You know what? I'll leave this up for 15 minutes. Sure, why not? All right, I got a prediction up for 15 minutes. Place your bets, everyone. You know, I was thinking of like putting the tomatoes on top of the tofu, but I was like, oh, that probably would be way too unbalanced at that point. Also, who the hell puts huge chunks of tofu in their sandwich? Is there like a tofu sandwich in Japan that I'm not aware of? How long you plan on streaming? Probably another 2-3 hours. Oh yeah, vegans? Oh yeah, totally. What do I know, I guess? Tofu and then a burger patty. Oh yeah, you know, it's very vegan. You know, like that's only a veggie patty. It's not a real hamburger patty. Why did I do that? Yo, 9, how's it going? Don't mind me, just hunting for shiny dittos. Which is gonna take forever, because man, even with a shiny charm and with a shiny sandwich, it just does not seem to want to spawn at all. It's not NFE. I know it's you. Don't worry. Hope you're doing well. Just hunting for shiny Ditto, my favorite Pokemon, which I never got a shiny of. So, I mean, to be fair, I feel like this probably would be the game I find a shiny Ditto in. Mostly because like finding a shiny Ditto is probably at its easiest at this point. It's just whether or not we get lucky. Unfortunately, I'm currently out of topics to chat about at the moment. Unless anybody in chat wants to throw out a topic that I can, like, yap about. We'll say this, I think we're actually approaching the end of Fire Emblem Three Houses that I stream every Tuesday. So I was kind of thinking of what I want to do to replace that. I was thinking of just, like, not really replacing it so much as just like having Final Fantasy VII be a game I stream more often in the week. I don't know. I will say this, I am planning on doing a poll to see what people would like to see for upcoming stream playthroughs. So I definitely am planning on like asking you guys on your feedback on what you'd like to see more in the future for the streams. To be honest, I have no idea what you want to do for a side thing. I might just focus on Final Fantasy VII for a while until that's done. Because when I finish like Three Houses' side, Silver Snow. I will say this, I am planning on hopping into Blue Lions, like, sooner than later. I just don't know how soon I want to do it. Because, like, I still want to get through that as well as get through, like, Golden Deer so we can finally knock out 3 houses for real. Interest in the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering set coming out soon? Not really, because, like, sadly, I'm not really a Magic the Gathering person. I tried it out myself one time, and it just didn't do much for me, unfortunately. It doesn't help I grew up playing Yu-Gi-Oh, so I have a very biased idea of card games. And frankly, I think Magic the Gathering is probably a better card game than Yu-Gi-Oh, but, you know, like, you just stick with what you know, and then rather than go, like, you stick in your comfort zone instead of actually enjoying something better. Isn't that just the way of life? Yeah, I'm saving Deer for last. I don't know, in my head, like, the order has always been, like, Black Eagle, Silver Snow, Blue Lions, and then Golden Deer. Mostly because that's just how it was advertised to me. Like, Black Eagles is usually the first thing that gets advertised, and Blue Lions, and then Golden Deer. Deer, Snow, Lions, Eagles was your order? Yep. Give me a quick sec, guys. Allergies are catching up again. See, Limit, what you do is follow trends and grab a copy of Expedition 33. No, if I wanted to follow trends, I would be streaming Marvel Rivals right now. Which I have actually been enjoying. I just don't think my audience is really a Marvel Rivals audience. Wait a second. I swear to fucking God. Well, we found a shiny. We found a shiny cat. Yay! It's not like I already caught another one of these before. No, sir. In fact, just to highlight the point, have a repeat ball. With a critical capture at that. Yay! Found a Meowth! I'm so happy! All it does is sleep during the daytime. At night, it patrols the territory with its eyes aglow. And it's a girl. Okay, well, who do we know who appreciates the nightlife but is also a girl? And it's a cat. I'm gonna call you Felicia. Well, we found one shiny, I guess. Yay, we got 2 shiny Meowths. Yay! Sleep during the day, looks at the sky. Yeah, tell me about it. Okay, so we found a shiny Meowth. That means we have a pretty high chance of finding a shiny Ditto this stream, right? I like how everyone immediately starts dropping money into the fact that we found a shiny. I didn't think we would find a shiny while the prediction was still going on, at least. Y'all realize you're not even going to get a whole lot of points out of this because no one voted otherwise. Does it have a mark? You know what? That's a good question. Let's check. It has a dawn mark, a mark of an early riser Pokemon. Wow! Yeah, so yeah, it totally definitely sleeps late, doesn't it, chat? You never seen a prediction rigged in one favor? See, I didn't think we were gonna find a shiny this soon. I probably should have clarified that I meant like a shiny Ditto, but whatever. I didn't say like any shiny. That being said though, I was really hoping it was a shiny Tantamouse at least. A shiny Tantamouse would have been nice. I did purposely keep it vague because I didn't think we would actually find a freaking shiny Meowth. That's on me. That being said though, like shiny Meowth is actually pretty easy to spot. It's just a little hard to spot in this lighting engine. Which is why I have, like, Breloom just beat up literally everything around here. And unfortunately, shiny Ditto isn't obvious unless you actively beat up the Meowth. I think the only way for a Ditto to appear shiny in Overworld is if there was another shiny Pokemon nearby for Ditto to copy. You know what? Next time I'm gonna make the prediction less than 15 minutes. I'm actually gonna make it like 5 minutes. And then the game is gonna prove me wrong by immediately having me find another shiny within that 5 minutes. Just got in from dinner. Yo, how was your dinner? We found a shiny. We found a shiny Meowth, Dirt Dog. Another one. I'm so annoyed. I'm also gonna have to pay out the prediction to everybody because apparently, like, oh man, Limit, wanna break your total economy system by having a shiny Meowth pop up immediately? You found a shiny at least? I'm so freaking mad. But yeah, how's everyone's, like, Mother's Day? Anything cool that you guys did for your moms? Oh, by the way, could one of the mods pay out the prediction? The answer is yes. You went out to get flowers? That's nice. Like I said, didn't do a whole lot. I just, like, hung out with my mom for a bit. She seemed pretty okay with that. You know, I'm starting to wonder if maybe I should check the Pokemon, like, map to see if there's any, like, Ditto rare spawns or something like that. Or, like an outbreak of Ditto or something like that. I think there's only, like, 2 areas where Ditto can even spawn in, which is, like, the area I'm currently at, and there's, like, the area next to Madali over here. By the way, chat, just want to confirm, how's the music audio? I hope it's not too loud. I mostly want to keep it generally quiet, so it's like, it's just like some extra music to listen to instead of just having like no music whatsoever. Music sounds fine? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure it's not too loud. Mostly because I'm a little worried about copyright, but I think we should be fine. I'm pretty sure the Zenless Zone Zero music is perfectly fine. It's mostly anything else that it kind of plays. It won't let you pay out the prediction? Mother trucker. Alright. Of course y'all got greedy and just want to get the free coins. Of course you did. Anyway,
Thank you!
No, leave me one smug.
okay. Wasn't expecting the 26-month resub from Lundea. That I'm incredibly grateful for. Thank you so much for your resub, Lundea. That means absolutely the world to me. Thank you. But yeah, I was just going to say, has anybody been watching any movies lately as well? Like, I unfortunately basically have stopped going to movie theaters in general. Not necessarily because I don't like seeing new movies. I still love seeing new movies. I just, like, one, I don't really like going to theaters anymore because, like, ever since COVID happened, I'm terrified about getting, like, sick. So I haven't really gone out a whole lot outside of, like, necessities when I have to go out to, like, do shopping or stuff like that. but like for movie theaters, like sitting in like a enclosed space with a bunch of people to watch a movie together, I don't know. I feel like that is like just a that's just a sickness waiting to happen, you know? So like I ended up just like not seeing movies since like, wow, I don't think I've seen a movie since 2029. It's been like close to 6 years since the last time I saw a movie in theaters. Yeah, 2019, yeah. I didn't mean 2029. What's wrong with me? No, see, surprise everyone, I'm actually from the future. I'm Lena of the mid 21st century. Yeah, totally. You, your roommate, and a friend went to see Minecraft expecting it to be trash. You were surprised how good it was. I have no answer for that. You haven't gotten a shiny Ditto after 2 streams worth? No, not at all. You got 50 in like an hour legally? Oh yeah, I can totally believe that, Gex. Wow, I'm very impressed by your very lucky skills and be able to find them. Tell me, what area did you find them in? But yeah, like, in regards to, like, movies, like, I haven't really seen in been in theaters for a while, but, like, you know what? Like, if there's, like, one, like, series that really would have gotten me to, like, go to theaters, it was the new animated Looney Tunes movie. I kind of regret not going to theaters for that because, like, man, I want to be able to support the 2D art form as much as I can, but sadly, I've just been so, like I said, theaters have gotten way too expensive, and I just cannot really afford going to theaters anymore just to see like a one-time showing of a movie for like $22 and maybe additional expenses. Here, take this. You'll have to. What are you giving me? Enjoy food, I guess, Gex. Last movie you saw was the day the Earth blew up. Yeah, I wanted to watch that movie too myself. Like I said, I want to be able to support more movies that are actually 2D, but sadly enough, like, yeah. I probably should actually buy it on, like, home video release so I can, like, tell Warner Brothers, oh, hey! Zaslav, do you mind if you allow us to have more 2D animated movies and not just, like, throw out movies to die in theaters? Or, you know, release movies in general so they can actually be seen? That would be great. Return Day, we learned Limit is actually a time traveler and either A, didn't warn us of the chaos, or B, caused a time crash. See, what happened was that when I traveled back in time, it caused a split timeline. You see, we kind of function on a split timeline theory that every time you time travel, it just results in like a new timeline being created regardless of what happens. So even if I were to try to prevent stuff from happening, by time traveling, it just resulted in everything changing anyway, so it didn't actually reflect the actual history that I'm from. Whoops. And unfortunately, my timeline was way better. I accidentally caused the worst timeline by traveling back in time. My bad, guys. Y'all forgive me, right? Because I'm adorable. And y'all can forgive me if I cause a worse timeline for all of y'all, right? You've been meaning to check out Sinners and Thunderbolts, though. I heard very good things about Sinners. Figure out a way to time travel back. Unfortunately, that's not how split timeline works. Once you cause a split in the timeline, it's impossible to go to the other timeline. The only way you can get to the other timeline is if you create an alternate dimension machine. That's where things get really complicated. Because split timelines is also effectively split alternate universes. You have a good night too, Val Dragon. Thank you so much for the well wishes.
Thank you.
And thank you for the follow as well. Glad you enjoyed the stream. Although that reminds me, I probably should put up another prediction. I'm gonna set this to 10 minutes this time so y'all don't get the freaking cheat. There, 5 minutes to make this prediction. Now watch as, I swear, if I actually find a Ditto, a shiny Ditto, before this prediction runs out, I don't even know what to say at that point. Clearly, I'm just jinxing myself. You don't see the prediction? Just reload. It's definitely up on my screen. Just reload. Yeah, I see people already predicting. Twitch be Twitch sometimes. Just like how they want to make things really freaking annoying for me for having to upload a bunch of VODs that I really need to get around to editing. Okay, now we have an actual battle this time. 10,000 yeses to 4,000 no's. Y'all have a lot more faith than I do. I'll say this. If we don't find a Shadow Ditto this stream, a lot of people are going to be making out like a bandit. Because for people who don't know, the betting system works on underdogs. So if underdogs win, they make way more channel points. If you're part of the majority, you get less channel points, but you still get channel points. I guess that's the difference. Like, do you go for the safe bet or do you root for the underdog and hope you get a big payout? Gotta get going. Thanks for the well wishes, walking. Have a good night. You know, I will say this. I'll admit I kind of was purposely trying to jinx myself by talking about, like, whether or not we find a Ditto during the prediction. Because, man, if I actually did find a Ditto during the prediction, that would have been such good content. But no, of course not. Can we ever be that lucky? It has to be completely unintentional every single time. Can't ever try to reverse psychology Lady Luck. She is immune to that, unfortunately. I was about to say that was not going to be another shiny Meowth. The old reverse commentator's curse, it never works! It never works out in your favor. It never works out. It always like, oh man, what would be the most annoying thing to happen to a streamer right now? Y'all try to manipulate it, but no, there's no such thing as luck manipulation. All speedrunners have lied to me. If any speedrunner ever tells you the idea of RNG manip, they're lying. There's no such thing as manipulating RNG. Video games are hard-coded to have removed RNG from everything. Every time you get a critically hit by your opponent, no, that's not RNG. That's the game just deciding, no, fuck you. I can tell you had a bad day today, and we're gonna make things worse for you. You ever miss because of a sand attack? It's not because sand attack is lowering your accuracy. It's the game being like, no, we just want to make things more annoying for you. Well, I guess we'll just clear out these Meowths really quick and then we'll reset. Looks like my sandwich is done. Well, at least Breloom's having fun beating up all these Grimers. Does anybody remember making curry back in Sword and Shield? I actually really like that mechanic in that game. I know that sandwich making basically is a replacement for that in this game. But I don't know. I just feel like building sandwiches, like, while fun from a shitposty standpoint, not really as interesting for me. Mostly because, like, there's, like, more involvement where you have to, like, stir pots. You gotta do some timing minigames in order to deposit the right amount of love into your curry. I don't know, just like, I just feel like it's a bit of a shame that they, had, like... that they had like such a fun mini game aspect for it, and they kind of took away that. And there's also the fact that you can screw up the sandwich because of physics. Yeah, that's also another reason I don't really like the sandwich making in this game, because there's a lot of time where you're trying to like make the perfect sandwich so you can actually like do what I'm doing and trying to shiny hunt or whatever. And then like something falls over and that just ruins the entire sandwich. And then there's like poffins and Pokeblocks. Okay, making poffins, that was really annoying. Also, I don't think Black and White had a food making minigame in that game. The jank in this game isn't doing the minigame a lot of favors. You know what the worst part is? Even if we do get that upgrade for the Nintendo Switch 2 for Scarlet and Violet, I think the only thing it'll do is fix up the frame rate. Outside of that, though, I feel like Scarlet and Violet is still going to run like complete garbage. I don't think the Switch 2 is saving this game. Hopefully, I'll be able to save Legends Arceus in terms of the frame rate. Not Legends Arceus, Legends ZA, rather. But I wouldn't mind a Nintendo Switch 2 version for the, for Legends ZA, Legends Arceus as well. I do love that game, after all. Come on, there's like a whole bunch of Dittos here. You gotta beat them up, right? Breloom, please tell me there's a shiny Ditto here. I will give you anything to find me that shiny Ditto. I will feed you all of the bottle caps. The rustiest, nastiest bottle caps that will raise up your IVs to complete maximum. You'd be like Broly from Dragon Ball. Like, power maximum. I am slowly progressing to lose my mind because, of course, when I run out of things to reference, I go for the Dragon Ball reference. Ah. Ba 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 da 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 da. I will say, I have been thinking about, like, some stuff about the future, about, like, what I'm going to be doing for the upcoming few months. Like, I think it's about time I started doing my next Ace Attorney playthrough. And, like, the next one should be fairly soon. I think I'll be starting it, like, sometime next month. Assuming that I do actually finish Fire Emblem Three Houses by then. Also, we're getting kind of close to the 100th playthrough. So I'm not entirely sure what I want to do for the 100th playthrough, because I'm not entirely sure what would be the most interesting for people who would want to come by and watch. I was actually thinking of, like, putting out a Google Doc form to see if anybody had any suggestions. Like basically, oh man, Limit's 100 stream extravaganza. What would you guys like to see Limit play for their 100th playthrough? You know, stuff like that. Although sometimes I feel like with my side, does anybody actually really care about like what I would do? But I don't know. I've been trying my best to get out of that pessimistic mindset when it comes to my audience size and just appreciate what I do have. And I do. It's just like, I don't know. Always feels like you never feel like you have enough in life and you always want to have more regardless. It's kind of like Eugene Krabs from that one jellyfishing episode of SpongeBob where like Mr. Krabs is like, SpongeBob, I need more! More! And then we overhunt like jellyfish to the point of like extinction, and SpongeBob doesn't even realize how awful that is. You know, I always remember that episode of SpongeBob, and I'm like thinking to myself, man, they straight up made Mr. Krabs into the villain of this episode. How the hell do you come back from that? And SpongeBob just happily goes back to working for Mr. Krabs. And I'm like, SpongeBob, my boy, this man just tried to ruin like an entire species. He almost wiped out this entire jellyfish population in Bikini Bottom. That's effectively genocide. But no, SpongeBob just goes back to working at the Krusty Krab because he can't have any shifts in the continuity. It sounds like that someone's trying to sell me something! I told you he was onto us! There's like a billion Meowths here. One of these has to be of shiny Ditto, right? Ditto! Ditto! You know, for a walking mushroom kangaroo, you think he'd be better at being able to detect what actually is or is not shiny? I've wandered around this lighthouse for at least, like, 10 hours now from all the times I've tried to shiny hunt a shiny Ditto. Can I at least find a shiny Tantamouse? That'd be cool. You know, I really hope that when we get to Legends ZA, they bring back the shiny jingle sound effect whenever you find a shiny Pokemon. Because it still drives me insane that they got rid of that in this game. Because I wouldn't have to beat up so many freaking Pokemon if it just gave me a jingle whenever I came across a shiny Pokemon. I literally can just like fly around, walking around, and I hear the jingle. Cool. Time for me to go find that shiny Pokemon, but of course not. Hey chat, remind me, was there shiny Ditto back in Legends Arceus? I forget it actually was there or not, but I think there wasn't. Yo, Crane Eye, how's it going? Still hunting for that shiny Ditto. I'll took it out from today's hangout. Hope you had fun with your family. I assume that you're talking about your family anyway. Friends, actually? Wow, on Mother's Day? How could you? I'm kidding. You do what you gotta do. But yeah, hope you had fun. Ditto, you think is not in Legends Arceus. Okay, good to know. Man, if it was in Legends Arceus, I would be hunting for a shiny Ditto there instead. Because it is ridiculously easy to find shiny Pokemon in that game. I think I found like 5 of them during my playthrough. Which is to say, I didn't find shiny Pokemon here. I also found shiny Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. I'm just saying Legends Arceus is still easier. I think they actually improved the shiny encounter rate in that game a lot. Unless you guys can think of a faster way to find a shiny Pokemon. I swear to God, if this game actually trolled me with the freaking shiny Ditto by having Breloom not attack it, I would have lost my freaking mind. I remember trying to find shiny Slowpoke in this game. It's very hard to tell. Yeah, the colors on a shiny Slowpoke are very similar to each other. That's honestly the worst thing about shiny Pokemon. Sometimes you get some really cool shiny colors, and then there are times where it's like, oh hey, it's just a very slightly different shade. We just like moved a few numbers around on the color chart. Okay, chat. We talk about worst shinies all the time. What's the best shiny? I've seen shiny Giratina. Shiny Giratina is crazy. I also like shiny Zorua. Both Hisuian and original Unova. Or hey, green. Yeah, sometimes they just make them green for whatever reason. Boss with Gen 9 Chinese, case in point. Yep. This reminds me, I haven't finished the Indigo disc story. You should, it's good. Blueberry Elite Four has been quite a while for you. You could just like level up if you need to. What does Chandelure Shiny look like? Giant Colossus pretty good looking too. That's also good. You know, it's probably not a good thing that I'm listening to music that's such chill vibes. It's actually slowly putting me to sleep because I didn't get much sleep today. You can technically RNG manip a shiny Ditto Den and Sword and Shield, but I don't know if you bother with it for one reason or another. I'm not going to bother RNG manipulating for even a regular Slurpuff Den and Sword and even though you need it for Sword and Shield. Dex completion, although how your brain works likely plays a contributing factor for that. That's fair. I was like, hey, how you doing, Oracle? Hope you're well. I'm hoping that the shiny sandwich at least be able to trigger a shiny Ditto, but this is like my third stream at this now, and I still haven't found one. I found 2 shiny Meows before I found it. And yes, I am rocking a shiny charm if you're wondering. This is why we need shiny sparkle sounds? 1,000,000,000% agreed. I still don't understand why they took it out in this game. You still like that one Blueberry for Elite Four guide, like you need to catch your own team here and not just your team of level 100s? Yeah, I like that team too, but it was also... it was really interesting for me because, like, I had to basically catch a third team for myself because I made a brand new team for myself when I was going through Kitakami, so I was like, okay, I guess we need a third one now. If they had more time to cook, they probably add in the shiny sparkle sound, so I think they'd sooner add them in ZA at this point. Ideally, but I also know Game Freak is really stupid about what fans want, so they end up just like not doing anything because they're like so caught up in trying to do their own thing rather than bringing back old mechanics that was really wanted by a lot of people. Oops. I really hope none of those were shiny. Oh no, not insane rain music. I'm gonna fall asleep even harder. It's too chill. The Legends games are generally where Game Freak tries to do weird stuff. Yeah, basically. I can't tell if I'm doing something wrong here. Because, man, it really, really feels like I should have found a shiny Ditto by now. It's like 1 in 600 chance, I think. When you have the shiny charm and the shiny sandwich set up. I feel like I've killed at least 600 of these guys by now. We are well over odds. I know I'm not actively keeping track with like a tracker or anything like that, but like, so I'm going entirely off of feels. It feels like we beat up 600 of these. It doesn't help that it's also really hard to actually be able to consistently find any like Ditto raids. I mean, what are the chances of coming across like Ditto raids around here anyway? You wouldn't be surprised if it's less doing something wrong and more RNG is being a jerk? You're not wrong, considering, like I said, this is theoretically the most optimal way to find a shiny Ditto in these games. Mind you, I don't think it's necessarily the most consistent way to find a shiny Ditto. Okay, I'll say this. I actually know an easy way to find a shiny Ditto. But, like, it's a little bit abusing of a glitch, and I'd rather not do that. Unless y'all don't freaking care. Do y'all want to know what method I'm talking about to find a shiny Ditto that's really easy? I'll give a hint. You can only do it in one specific game to find a shiny Ditto. It's kind of guaranteed if you make it work. And you are finding a shiny Ditto out in the wild, but not exactly in the way you think. You think you had 3 shiny raids? I haven't found a single shiny raid in this game. How the hell did you find 3 shiny raids? Is it the Gen 1 transform thing? You mean Gen 2, but yes. I'm not aware of the Gen 2, Gen 1 one. The Gen 2 one that I was thinking about was the one where you take the shiny Gyarados that you can find, send it out, and have Ditto transform into your Gyarados, who uses Mimic to transform into the transform shiny Ditto. And then you have like the Ditto use Mimic to transform. Basically, it turns into a shiny Ditto that way. I'm not saying the exact method of doing it, but basically, you teach Mimic to the shiny Gyarados. You have shiny Gyarados use Mimic to learn transform, so you have the shiny Gyarados transform into a shiny Ditto. And then the Ditto transforms into the... Basically, it has the Ditto become shiny that way. It basically ends up with shiny IVs, exactly. I could do that, but I'm like, nah. Mostly because it wouldn't be really easy to be able to do unless you have the time and patience to go through it. And I'm like, man, I already got my Switch Pokemon games all set up. Why don't I just try a hunt for one there? I was about to say, that better have been a shiny. Of course it wasn't. That's just the game being jank with its Let's Go feature. Remember early on, he had done a Blissey raid. I kid you not, for like a week or so, didn't realize it was a shiny. That's what happens when you just make too many Pokemon with similar shiny, like too similar to their base colors. I keep on hoping within my heart that one of these Dittos would just randomly not be attacked by my Breloom. Like here. Of course it's not. You know, I'm glad I decided to put on some Nightbot music because I would lose my mind if I was just listening to silence the entire time. It doesn't help that when it's nighttime in Scarlet and Violet, no music actually plays. For whatever reason. Again, I'm amazed that you guys find shiny inside of dens. I have never seen a shiny in a den before. And not for a lack of trying, I actively make sure, hey, is this a shiny? Before I decide to abandon the raid. It doesn't help there's the extra layer figure out if it is indeed a Ditto on top of being shiny. For real, for real. Which is why I had to like send out Breloom to kill literally every single Ditto that we come across. Like Meowth that we come across, or a Tantamouse or whatever. At the very least, I've done this so often now, I can tell which ones are actually Ditto. Because, like, Meowths are distinctly smaller than Ditto. Like, this is a Ditto that we just beat up. Yeah, because, like, Ditto is inherently larger than the Tantamouse and the Meowths in this area. If a Ditto just showed up, a blue Ditto would stand out so much, and it would be great! You know what's really funny to me? Y'all know how, like, people theorize that Ditto is a corrupted clone of Mew? Because, like, Ditto and Mew have the same shiny colors, where a shiny Mew is also blue. And I remember someone brought it up to, like, one of the members of Game Freak, and they're like, oh, I never heard about that theory before. It sounds cool, though. If only the shiny sound existed. For real, for real. I'll say, hey, Woot, hope you're doing well. Don't mind me, I'm just slowly losing my mind, beating up a bunch of cats that I don't need to beat up. It's kind of doing psychological damage to me at this point. Why is your Ditto named Specchio? Pro Trigger reference? I agree. I approve. Also, hey, Aggers. Hope you're doing well. No guilt, no mercy. They didn't beat the genetic mutants. This is what they deserve. Let's ignore the fact that a lot of people like to think that Ditto is just a genetic mutant of Mew. Or at least an attempted clone of Mew. You never thought about much beyond that it's a blob, and that's what I love Ditto! Ditto is friend-shaped! And there goes my sandwich. If we're ignoring anything, it should be your lack of moral compass when shiny hunting is mentioned. Fair enough, Woot. How degenerate is your shiny hunting methods? And you know what? Since I know that you'd like shiny hunting, do you have any advice for my shiny hunting method of Ditto here? I do have a shiny charm, and I also am making shiny normal sandwiches with encounter normal level 3. I don't know what more I can do to make it more possible. Fun fact, Specchio is a phonetic spelling of specchio, the Italian word for mirror. That's cute. Make mine sandwich. You know what's interesting? I actually was going through the Disney animated movie lineup on Disney Plus because I was trying to find like the old short compilation movies that they had in the Disney animated canon. You know what I found out? Apparently Make Mine Music is not on Disney Plus. It's the only Disney animated canon movie that's not on Disney Plus. And I was very confused about that. I was like, why is this not here? And then I found out, and then like apparently a lot of people are theorizing because there was like music copyright or something like that that is keeping them from being able to put it on Disney Plus or something like that. So I was like, weird. That just made me really want to find another one. Or maybe want to go watch the Disney anime canon and find the stuff that isn't on Disney Plus. Also, you have no advice because you have not hunted like this outside of mass outbreaks. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't exactly force a mass outbreak. Unless there is a way to force mass outbreaks and I'm just not aware of it. And you mostly do Masuda hunts? Okay, I would normally do a Masuda hunt as well, but the problem is, like I said, Shiny Ditto don't breed. Or Ditto in general don't breed with themselves. Game, it is honestly not that hard. All you have to do is produce a little blue. I know blue's not a naturally occurring color in nature. But hey, I don't think, like, blobs of goo that are capable of transforming and developing the genetic material to be able to have intercourse with other creatures that it is able to transform into is a naturally occurring thing either, game. But hey, what do I know? I'm just someone who studied science for 3 years and then got upset when I couldn't figure out more of it, gave up, and moved, pivoted into English degrees. Technically, you can reset for certain outbreaks without time travel, but you have to reset the game without ever saving during a given day, and it'd still be time consuming. Yeah, I feel like the ship has sailed on that front, unfortunately. But thank you for the advice on that, Oracle. Wasn't aware of that fact. So how does it work? Like, you wait for the day to roll over and then all the outbreaks are different or something like that? And then you just, like, reload the save? Like, you just boot up the game, look at what's available, and you don't see what you like, you just close the game and reload that way? Ugh, pretty much. Okay. Potentially radar chaining? There sadly is no radar chaining in this game outside of mass outbreaks. I hate this game. I hate this game so much. I sent out Berloom to go beat up a Ditto. It doesn't attack, so I lock onto it to make sure it's a Ditto. I see it's a Ditto, and I'm like, okay, let's double check. And then it finally decides to actually kill the thing. Berloom, stop trolling me. I've been feeding you delicious, delicious tofu, hamburger, onion, hot dog, taco, hamburger. Hot dog, taco, hamburger. Hot dog, taco, hamburger. But no! Apparently you don't like hot dog, taco, hamburger. You know if you're doing it correctly if every reset you see the message something along the lines of the Pokemon from the outbreaks that disperse, followed immediately by their mass outbreaks occurring on the upper right hand. Sounds right. Hot dog, taco, hamburger. Hot dog, taco, hamburger. I really hope people know what I'm referencing. Also, since Goldfish Brain Hard, your current Shiny Hunt project questionably much so. You've been getting all the starters from given regions in a picnic with Ditto to see which star line to finish Shiny's got first. That sounds funny. How far along are you with the Shiny Hunt for the starters? Fish Gen 1, 1, 2, 5, 7, and 9. Then you fish Score Bunny line for Galar. So it's between Grookey and Sobble for second place. I hope Grookey comes in last. No bias. But you're the monkey person? I do appreciate a good monkey. But only when they wear neckties. I forgot I put the carbohydrate remix of the Mario theme in here. You know what I find interesting about Pokemon? I feel like a lot of the evolutions as time went on kind of got a little too simple for my liking. Like, I remember back in Gen 2, I was freaking out about how Remoraid evolves into Octillery. And I'm like, how does that make any sense? Like, I understand it from a weaponry standpoint, from a animal standpoint, it's just so bizarre. But I don't think they have moments like those in Pokemon games anymore. I think most of the time what they do is just like, oh, it's the same thing, but more. That's the neat part, it doesn't. Thank you, Marcus. I should probably consider doing what you like to call the Masuda Roulette. Basically, Masuda breeding buff to 5 Pokemon. That sounds really funny. I would love to see that. After Distiller Haxorus hunt at the Blatant Nature Preserve preference. You're hunting for a... Why don't you just, like, find a shiny Haxorus and then you just, like, give it, like, the Stiller Terra Shards at the restaurant? If you're gonna tell me that it's really hard to find Stellar Terra Shards... Is the significance of the location? What's the significance of the location? Oh, is it inside of, like, the cave of Area 0? Location, location, location. Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. Remember, be hot. Be cool. Rocco! This is Big Head. You know, one of these days I really should watch the original Rocco's Modern Life again. There's a guaranteed shiny Haxorus in the Nature Preserve proper. You're shiny hunting that particular Haxorus because of the location? You know what? Fair enough. I wasn't aware that it was guaranteed shiny. Sorry, Haxorus. God, can I not read today? And then there. Turn the page, wash your hands. Turn the page, wash your hands. Wait. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you actually freaking kidding me right now? Well, I found another shiny Meowth! This is like, what, the third one? You seriously just taunt me? I swear to freaking God. In the ball. Okay, what do we want to name this thing? This is our third shiny Meowth, Gaddy. I know. It's a shiny Meowth, yeah. I'm naming you Thomas. Thomas, into the box you go! As we shove Tom into the box. Yep, there you go. 3 frickin' shiny Meowths. So how many phases total? I think this is like my 4th phase. Yeah, it's my 4th phase. Mark check? Sure. I don't think it has a mark, though. God damn it, it's another Dawn mark! I already have a Dawn mark Meowth. No Tom check, yes. Can I at least have a shiny Tantamouse? A shiny Tantamouse would be great. Also, Brave Kitty. Honestly, nature doesn't matter all that much, since you can change natures using mints. Shiny Tantamouse and Great don't belong in the same sentence. They get pants! Like a slightly different shade of pants. At least they're being more creative with them, even if they are very similar. Bonus points if the shiny Tantamouse happens to evolve into... Okay! That would be the craziest thing, though. A shiny Tantamouse that evolves into a family of 3 Mousehold. That would be the craziest find. Like, it'd be like finding a shiny Dunsparce that evolves into a 3-segment Dunsparce. Which, by the way, I would love to get one. Just because Dunsparce makes me laugh. It's not one of my favorite Pokemon, but it makes me laugh. Shiny family of 3 would be cool. I'm just critical of the really subtle shinies. Nah, I get that. I just appreciate that they're actually more thoughtful of what they try to do for the shinies to make them like stand out. Well, stand out in terms of being like unique instead of just being like a different shade of color like Pikachu or Garchomp. Which, by the way, I saw the shiny form for a Plusle the other day. It upset me gravely. And I assume that a shiny Minun is the same way. Is it not red? No, it is red. It's just it's like Pikachu. It's a very slightly darker color. So chat, what's the funniest or most interesting rare shiny you guys found? I think the funniest one for me is I found a shiny Tentacool while surfing. Because like the tentacles are basically the Zubats of the sea. You think shiny Plusle is fine? I hate it because like it just looks almost exactly the same as a regular Plusle. Shiny Minun at least is minty green? That's what I'm saying! Could have just made it orange? Yeah, that's also true. But hey, I've kind of accepted the fact that, aside from Charizard, they don't really like changing old Pokemon shinies. Which I'm still pretty sure the old Pokemon shinies were just based around the idea of, hey, let's just slightly color shift everyone like one slot over. What can I get for you? A drink? Some snacks? Or a little flames? Early shinies didn't have much thought put into them. They felt more like finding misprints than rare mutations. Correct. I think the funny story you have there is the time you're doing a Masuda hunt for Volby and Illumise. Since you breed one, the eggs will be for either. Got 2 back-to-back Volbys, but you already had one? Oh no, that sucks. I can't imagine, like, trying to breed for one of those. I would just, like, probably find one in the wild. I'm just baffled how we found 3 freaking shiny Meows, but not a single freaking Ditto. Funniest shiny encounter was a day 1 shiny Lechonk? That's really funny. I think another funny story I have is like during the final stream of the main story of Scarlet and Violet, I found 2 shiny Pokemon during that stream. I found a shiny Oinkologne and a shiny Gibble while wandering into Hollow Zero for the very first time. I was like, wow, probably not the most appropriate time to find it, but I guess I can't complain. Illumise took you over 2,000 eggs to actually find out one? That is crazy. That is well overestimate. Speaking of overestimate, one Ditto. One Ditto. Widow. Widow? A funny story of a Discord call where you were watching a friend play Scarlet Violet, you saw them pass a shiny Craballer, and you totally would miss out on it if you haven't mentioned it. I think that happened with me and a Sharny Tauros in this game. A Paldean Tauros, rather. And, like, people were giving me so much crap about it, I actually got fed up with it and decided to, like tell people to drop it or I was going to end the stream because I was so sick of people talking about a missed shiny opportunity. But it wasn't really a funny story, just like an annoying story I had to deal with. I think it also happened during Legends Arceus too, and I'm like, guys, I'm just trying to stream. I don't care if I miss a shiny sometimes. I wish the game would also stop taunting me by having Breloom randomly stop attacking Pokemon. That would be very nice. It checks on an outbreak in Scarlet, and the very first source you sent your Pokemon to attack was shiny? That's lucky. Like, I imagine it must have been hard to even tell it was shiny, considering how shiny Tauros looks so similar to regular shiny Tauros. I mean, regular normal Tauros. Please? Breloom, stop looking away from Ditto! You're just gonna make me think that's a regular shiny Ditto! I still think the lighting system is so garbage in this game. Like, even, like, there's, like, the amount of times I couldn't tell that I saw a shiny Ditto or a shiny Meowth is because, like, the lighting system makes it so hard to actually tell that the parts that you're supposed to be highlighting for a shiny Meowth are actually there. So the only way I would know is if Breloom decided to attack it. Which it didn't. You've been lurking. Ditto soon. Thank you, Peter. I could really use one soon because I will be honest, I am very, 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 very tired. Try making a sandwich at a cave during in-game night. Bright light warning for that? Oh god. I think I've done that at least once and did not look great. Guess I'm running low on time. I only got like, what, 3 minutes left? Yeah. Full on time on the sandwich, that is to say. If that's not an indication how jank the lighting system can be, tell me what is. You know what's funny to me? I've known people who say that they don't see any visual glitches in Pokemon, and I'm like, I can't tell how you somehow was able to avoid that in this game. Like, unless they somehow got, like, a dev copy of the game that just, like, runs perfectly buttery smooth because it's not playing on a Nintendo Switch. Because I think they once dumped the ROM for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet onto PC, and they were able to, like, mod it to run at 60 FPS, and that just caused the game to look and run so much better because it wasn't playing on an ancient mobile hardware like the Nintendo Switch. And ideally the Switch 2 should, like, make up for it in the future. I think one of my favorite jank things in this game is that if you fall from a high height and you land on a flat surface sometimes while riding Koraidon or Miraidon, it has them like stuck in like a falling motion and you can't actually jump, and that causes you to be stuck on that flat surface until the game finally decides to register you as, oh hey, you're out of bounds, let's put you back into bounds, shall we? And I'm like, why is that not like a feature where you unstick yourself using the menu? There are plenty of other games that feature that. Why can't this game feature that? If you want to avoid people like falling into an abyss and getting stuck there. I know that Warframe has a chat command for that. Type in unstuck and it plops you back on a previous valid point you were at. Yeah, I know Zenless has that as well, even though I have no idea where you would ever get stuck in freaking Zenless. But yeah, like, there are plenty of games that have stuff like that. Hell, freaking Animal Crossing New Horizons has that as a feature. But Pokemon, nah, they just automatically unstick you for you. Well, I tried. When a game feels like it, it might pull you out of a sticky situation. Mm-hmm. Alright, I think I'll give this like 1 or 2 more sandwiches. Because like, I'm getting really tired and I barely slept today. Ah. How many sandwiches, like if anybody's done what I've done, that is to say, tried to, oh my god, what is going on with the camera right now? Or rather, the lights in the background. If anyone's done this before, how many, like, repetitions did you have to do before it finally decided to show up? That is to say, for the shiny Pokemon to show up. Also, I'm pretty sure I heard this song before. Hang on, let me go cycle to a different song. Or let's go with this. Oh, that tofu looks like it's about to fall over. I am extremely worried. I'm gonna focus this over here and hopefully it'll offset it. Okay, we're good. Hot dog tofu hamburger. Hot dog tofu hamburger. Woot, have you found a shiny Ditto yourself? And if you did, how did you find one? Like, I know you said you prefer the Masuda method, but Masuda method doesn't work on Ditto. For the reasons I mentioned before, where Ditto can't breed. With itself, that is to say. Yes, OS, hunt for one in Gen 7? Now I'm starting to wonder if I should have just done that instead. If you can't breed it, Masuda ain't helping you. You know how screwed up that sounds? Oh, are you infertile? You are not getting help from me, sir. Thank you. Why does that sound like a raid message I could use? You know, I'm gonna use that as a raid message. That's gonna sound so bad depending on who I raid with that, by the way. At the very least, I'm glad I'm not getting a headache from playing this game anymore because I'm not just like locking onto everything and trying to find a Ditto. I'm just beating up literally every Pokemon. I really hate Breloom looking away. Why do you do that? Pokemon Conquest with Copium.
Ah.
Have you noticed that whenever they make a new Pokemon game spin-off these days, they always have to accompany it with like, oh hey, if you buy this game, you'll get a special Pokemon that you can transfer into the main Pokemon games. Just to entice people to actually purchase the side games. Come on, Triumphant music is playing right now. Scarlet, like, that means we're probably going to find the shiny Ditto, right? Maybe I need a divine blessing of some kind. Who do we pray to? If you were to pray to a god in the Pokemon universe, would you pray to Arceus? I feel like that'd be praying to, like, the Christian god. Like, not that there's anything wrong with it, it's just too common in the Western world. But let's not go for Arceus. What if we pray to Satan, aka Giratina? Will anyone complain? I'm sure Lucas wouldn't complain, because Lucas caught a Giratina. This is what happens when Limit is sleep deprived. They talk about the most weird, random and weird stuff. Ah! Basically, shower thoughts with no shower. That reminds me, I need to go shower and go to bed. I'm tired. Yeah, I think one more sandwich should do it for now, and then we'll save it for another time. And ideally, I can find one so there won't need to be a next time. We are in the Pokemon world equivalent of Spain, so it would logistically be Arceus. That is true. You know, I talked about this on stream the last time we did this, but Arceus absolutely is like a giant hand, and I'm so mad I never noticed it before. Like, real master hand energy at that. Well, more like crazy hand because he's a right hand, but still. Or was he left-handed? I forget. The point is, Arceus looks like a hand. And I saw someone draw it out for me. I was like, oh my god, how did I not realize this before? Master is the right side, Crazy is the left. I could have sworn that Master was the left side. Well, I stand corrected. I guess, like, Arceus is Master Hand. Because I remember, I could have sworn the idea was that Master was the left hand because left-handed people are thought of to be highly creative and stuff like that. So, fun fact about me, I'm technically ambidextrous because, like, even though I prefer writing with my left hand, I do almost everything else with, like, either hand. Like, sometimes I even prefer doing things right-handed. So, what does that make me? Am I a creature that wants to murder everything, or what? There's a thing called mixed-handed? Really? I thought it was just called ambidextrous. How's your day? Been a little tired. Mostly feeling very sleepy because I only slept with like 2 hours today, so I'm probably gonna go take another nap after this stream. Hope y'all been having a fantastic Mother's Day, though. Ambidextrous is a different beast compared to mixed-handedness. I'm guessing mixed-handed means like you prefer doing things with one hand or the other, and ambidextrous is you just choosing to do both. Or like you don't have a preference for either. I got so excited again! I swear to God! You know, I saw Breloom's sweat drop on the bottom left and I got ridiculously excited for a moment there. Because, like, he only sweat drops whenever he doesn't want to, like, fight a Pokemon. Reason for Master Hand, Crazy Hand being the size they are due to their symbolic culture. I could have sworn that left hand was symbolic of like creativity and that's why Master Hand was the left hand, at least from what I remember. But you are right about like the whole sinner's hand thing with the left side. It's why a lot of people generally try to force left-handed people to become right-handed people because they are caught up in these stigma or, you know, bigotry against it. I guess bigotry is a strong word, but still. Auto-battling Pokemon can also do a sweat drop thing if you're targeting a wall or something. I notice it happens a lot on the something part. You know what would be really nice? If the game would tell you, oh hey, Breloom doesn't want to battle this Pokemon, and it puts a marker over the Pokemon that Breloom doesn't want to beat up, and I'm like, oh, thank you for telling me which one's the shiny! That would be such a convenient feature, but no, of course not. Oh, so something tells me that, like, you know what? I lost my train of thought because of how tired I am. Sorry, chat. Alright, 17 more minutes and I think we'll call it. Again, I am feeling very tired right now that I'm actually falling asleep. Actually, you know what's funny? For a split second when I fell asleep, I was dreaming about shiny hunting Meowth. Yes! I legitimately had a split second dream. I had a split second long enough dream to dream that I came across a Meowth and I named a shiny Meowth and I named him Reed Richards. And for some reason, he had the brain of Reed Richards from Marvel Comics. And he was giving me advice about how logistically impossible it is to find a shiny Ditto. And I'm starting to wonder if that's a sign from a god telling me, you ain't finding a shiny Ditto tonight, kid. Mr. Catastic, exactly. In spiritualism, the left hand tends to be associated with freedom, determination, and courage. Those who are not afraid of restrictions and others won't dare to cross. Yeah, I get that. But yeah, like, the reason I don't want to go to bed yet is because, like, otherwise the sandwich would be a massive waste. So I'd rather, like, try and knock it out and then I can go rest.
I'm sorry I'm late, but Rocco had to go to the potty. What?
How has the hunt been?
Sagami! Thank you so much for 100 bits! I really do appreciate that. The hunt has been interesting. I found 2 shiny Meowths. Yay! But shiny Ditto? No. Never. Not even once. I'm too clean shaven to have a shiny Ditto. After all, if we find a shiny Ditto, what's stopping us from having the shiny Ditto become a shiny Gardevoir? And then the shiny Gardevoir becomes a mega shiny Gardevoir. And then everyone gets all hot and bothered about it. Especially me. Y'all can tell when I'm tired because I start making dumb horny jokes. I'm sorry. We'll find it eventually. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. Ooh la la dee da da do. Ah ba 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 ba. We'll find it, the rainbow connection. Actually, the shiny, if I recall correctly, will turn into regular colors in Mario and Pokemon games. Damn it! Wait, which shiny are we talking about here? The Ditto? Would it actually turn? Wait. Are you telling me if I find a shiny Ditto in gold and silver, it would turn into a normal Ditto if I were to transfer it up? Please tell me you're joking. Because I was actually considering on doing the Gen 2 exploit for shiny Ditto. Just gotta find more shiny opponents to transform into. That's what I'm saying. Like, we just find a Ditto and we bring out, like, red shiny or Gyarados and gold and silver, and we turned the Ditto shiny. No big deal. Like, no one gets hurt. And it's just like, you know, I got a shiny Ditto. What's the worst that'll happen? It's like finding Ditto through the Mew exploit in Gen 1. Is it really that much of an exploit if you can't get a Mew normally? I didn't think so. What I'm saying is, if it transforms into an opponent's Pokemon in older games, it becomes a shiny version. But if it's a modern game, the Ditto becomes regular colors in its transformed form. Shoot, you're right. I think it only copies... Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that detail. Well, I mean, unless it's like a shiny version, in which case it copies the shininess, doesn't it? God. Hearing the Galar gym battle theme is so good. Still probably one of my favorite gym leader themes. I might even like it more than the Gen 1 gym leader music, and I love the Gen 1 gym leader music. I think I mostly associate it with Ash, though, because I hear it played all the time in the Pokemon anime whenever he does a gym battle, and that was like some of the most hype battles I remember growing up with when watching Pokemon, even though not all of them were bangers. The Galar gym theme goes so hard. It's so good. It's crazy how good the guitar is. Like, just using Meryl as an example. Oh, I know about Meryl being able to change genders, but when Azurill evolves into Meryl because of the differing gender ratio. Wherein, like, a female Azurill has like a 25% chance of becoming a Meryl. Like a male Meryl, that is to say. If you have a shiny Ditto in Gen 2, you become a shiny Meryl after you're transforming. But in like this game, you're a regular Meryl. And yeah, if your opponent is shiny, you'd be shiny in transformation. Yep, I understand. Galar Gym Leader music, it sells the fact that the gym circuit is treated as a sporting event in Galar. I completely agree with you. It legitimately sounds like a sports theme, and that works so freaking well. And I'll be real, I know a lot of people who say they don't like Sword and Shield. I freaking love Sword and Shield because they actually sell the fact that Pokemon is always a sporting anime for me. Like, that sounds so weird to say, but let's be honest here. The main theme about Pokemon is the battles. And the battles is all about becoming the best that you can be in a competition. Wait. God damn it. I'm so mad. So, like, Pokemon is a sports anime. And I feel like not many people acknowledge this fact. You agree with that take? Thank you for agreeing. Also, hello Trill, hope you're doing well. I'm hunting for a shiny Ditto, which is not showing up because I am losing my goddamn mind because I really want a freaking shiny Ditto because it's my favorite freaking Pokemon. But no! 3 long streams of no shiny Ditto! Ah! Anyway, how's your day? Hope your Mother's Day has been going well, everyone. I hope you did something nice for all your families. Pokemon, Hajime no Ippo, Dragon Ball, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Are all sports anime. 1,000,000,000% true. You like Sword and Shield, alright? You mentioned previously, we'll say one of the best aspects of the league felt built up really well. It's the best version of Pokemon League as a game. I agree. I also know for a fact a lot of people agree that, like, most people seem to agree that the gym leaders for Galar are some of the most banger gym leaders we ever had. Like, everyone has a favorite member of the gym leaders, even the version exclusive ones. Like, people, I like, not me, like, if I were to go through all of them, Milo is not particularly as, like, beloved compared to the others, but people still enjoy him because of how silly he is as a character design. People fucking love Nessa. I don't think I need to go into why people love Nessa. Kabu's a big fan favorite as well because he's really cool. The implication that he's actually from Hoenn is like a nice little character detail with him. Oh, also the freaking league cards! The league cards are so freaking cool because they give so much character background. People love the league cards, and I do too. She was the 4th gym leader again. I think it was B and Alistair, or was that the 5th gym leader? No, it was B and Alistair. Yeah, people love B and Alistair because Alistair is like a little shy, quiet lad, and he's cute because of that. B is like badass, like tough tomboy girl. People also love that. And then there's Opal, and people love Opal because she's crazy. And then there's like Gordy and Melanie. I know like Melanie is way more popular than Gordy, but I appreciate Gordy too. People love Raihan because they love shipping Raihan with like Leon because gay ships, baby. Beth was the fairy woman. Yeah, Opal. You want to take over Opal's gym so bad? Is it because you're very pink? Galar, the Galar babe. I do love me, B. No, wait, Raihan's the 8th gym leader. Wait, I skipped a gym leader. Oh, I skipped Piers! Oh, I'm sorry, I completely glossed over Piers. Yeah, people freaking love Piers. I don't need to explain that one. He's the only gym leader with a unique battle theme, too. Because you know what I love about the fact that Piers has a unique battle theme? It's entirely because his gym doesn't take place at a stadium. It takes place in a freaking cage, like back alley area because it's a dark gym like area in Spikemouth, and his Spikemouth doesn't have like an area for you to Gigantamax in. That is such a cool detail. I love that so much. And you also love fairy types? No, that's valid. I appreciate fairy types as well. Nah, gym leader, but Clara is a peak rival. Clara is actually psycho, and I love her for that. I feel like a lot of people don't really like... what's the name of the other rival? The shield rival. I forget his name. The one, Avery. Yeah, not many people like Avery because his color, because like the psychic outfit just does not look good on him, and he has like a black top hat. It just does not look like a good, well, it just does not look like a very good character design. Everything just looks haphazardly thrown together. He was doomed to be overshadowed by literal toxic anime girl. It helps that the color scheme for her matched a lot better compared to Avery's intended psychic colors. It just doesn't look all that great. You love Marnie though? I love Marnie too! I wish he had more battles though. Thanks for stealing all of the rival battles, Hop. The most you remember of Avery is someone giving him James's lines and having them fit rather well. Okay, if Avery was actually gay, I think I would like him a lot more, but I think he's just an asshole. Hello, Gaddy. Do you want to tell me about how Marty's overrated?
No, I was just going to say hi.
Okay, fair enough. Appreciate you. How you doing, bud?
Fine.
I'm not going to be going for much longer, though. I'm about to fall asleep.
Also, the only thing I wish they did with Marnie is, like, there's a sequence near the end of the game where it's perfectly set up for you to have Marnie as a tag partner, and they don't do it for whatever reason.
Yeah! They kind of focus on Hop during all that, and I'm like, man.
Well, more so than that, she's relegated to cheer squad, which is just demeaning.
Yeah, she deserved better than that. Especially since she has her own cheer squad that is there for her.
I'm electing to take the day off tomorrow, by the way. I'm so brain-rotted by Star of Providence that I kind of just want to play more of it.
Sometimes you need that day off to chill out, you know?
Yeah.
Daddy, why does Shiny Ditto not love me? Like how much I love him.
I don't know, have you considered, like, getting a Pringles can or something?
What does the Pringles can have to do with anything?
Like, there's fan art on Blue Sky that I retweeted once of Don, like, finding Ditto squeezed into a Pringles can.
You know what? I probably should go buy a Pringles can. Maybe I'll find a Ditto. One of your favorite lines in Sword and Shield is literally, "I'm yelling for no reason!" That is a pretty good line. Marnie is great. You just find Clara very funny. Why do I keep on calling her Kiara?
Something, something, lowercase L looks like an uppercase I, etc.
Etc., etc. Please, just give me a Ditto. Well, sandwich is out. Well, I guess that's it, everyone. We failed. Again. But hey! Yeah?
You walked away a crazy cat lady.
I did walk away a crazy cat lady. We found 3 shiny cats. One named Felicia and one named Thomas. It's honestly legitimately hard to tell that Meowth is shiny. The lighting system in this game does not do this game any favors. But you know a way to tell something that is really shiny? Blue.
My first ever shiny.
I did find a shiny Eevee. This one is very blatantly shiny.
The most recent one I ever found, the last time I played this game, was Masquerade.
Hey, Gaddy, remember when you and I farmed for this shiny?
Yeah, I just named him Bob.
Yep. For maybe people don't know, there is a guaranteed shiny Munchlax that you can get if you were able to complete the hard difficulty of Ogre Ousting. That is incredibly hard to do. Me and Gaddy and Bermside did it, but it was pain. But it is easier if you coordinate with friends. I think I did it with you, Sagami, and I forgot who the other players were, but I definitely remember we did that together. Yeah.
Burnside was there when we did it.
Yeah, that was the first time I did it with you and Bermside. Yeah. I did it again on stream with Sagami and someone else. I forgot who it was. I also got a shiny Grimmsnarl, but this is an event Grimmsnarl. This one I found out in the wild. It's actually kind of cute, but I don't like its eyes. Its eyes are terrifying me. I also have another shiny Psyduck, and I named him Death because he looks like he's seen death.
Real. She.
Oh, she's seen death. I'm sorry. And we got a shiny Gibble. His name is Nibbles because he likes biting things. And this was the very first shiny that we found. I named him Wilbur. All right. Hopefully we'll find a shiny Ditto eventually. I was going to laugh if that actually was a shiny Ditto. We'll find it eventually, guys. All right. Everyone, thank y'all for coming out tonight. I really hope you guys enjoyed the stream. How about I give you... I also want Wilbur for your oink loan. Yeah, I wonder why. But yeah, how about I give you guys a heads up for the schedule? All right, next stream will be on Tuesday with Fire Emblem Three Houses as we continue the Silver Snow route. Wednesday will be a little bit of Zenless Zone Zero, but then we're going to transition immediately back into the Ditto hunt. Hopefully we'll find it then and there. On Friday will be more Final Fantasy VII Blind. If there's any changes to the schedule though, y'all can follow me on Twitter, Blue Sky, and YouTube where I post stream updates and general shenanigans. Alternatively, y'all can hit up the Discord server where we talk about anything and everything. We're a very friendly bunch in there, and we're always welcome to any new faces. We also do movie nights in there every Monday night, aka tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're currently going through a superhero movie marathon right now, and we're going to be starting the MCU tomorrow. So we're going to be kicking things off with Iron Man. If you guys want to watch Iron Man tomorrow, consider hitting up the Discord server where we host it. Okay, let me read chat really quick and then we'll go find a raid target. You're attempting to do a funny money strat in Sword and Shield involving Meowths? At least one of them being able to G-Max. The lead Meowth holds an amulet and just spamming Payday and G-Max Gold Rush. And watches your opponents languish in despair as they see their bank accounts. Okay, that's pretty funny. Go have fun with that, Oracle. But yeah, thank y'all for coming out tonight. I really hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you guys want to follow me, like I got a few new viewers tonight. If you guys want to follow me and see my other content, that'd be cool. All right, if you guys have any raid messages in mind, let me know. I'm gonna find ourselves a raid target really quick though. Raided you recently, so I won't go for you. Raided you recently. You know what? I think I'll go for this person here. Hot dog, taco, hamburger. Cat C, cat ditto. You know what? Let's go with this instead. We'll go with hot dog tofu hamburger. And again, if you guys are not subbed and don't have access to the emote, it's all good. Just raid with the raid message. As for who we're raiding, we're going to be raiding Aelita, who's currently doing Gaggle. How about you guys go give her all the love?
I wonder what they're watching.
All right. Like I said, that's just going to be it for now. Again, thank y'all for coming out tonight. We appreciate all your guys' support. And until next time, everyone, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and remember, love always. Good night, everybody.